How much a player earns in a major league is as much about the way you define earns as anything else. If you look at promise money versus payroll salary, you will get a completely different list. Ditto that if you compare total contract value as well. In today's video, we are going to take a look at the top 5 MLB players in terms of total cash for the 2022 season. Stay tuned to find out. Number 5, Carlos Correa, $35.1 million. The start-stop earned free agency after extension talks with the Astros fell down last season, and with Scott Boras as his agent, he appeared for the biggest contract ever for that position. More than Francisco Lindor, $351 million, and Corey Seager, $325 million. The 27-year-old did not find a long-term agreement with those values, so he chose to sign with the Twins for 3 years and a $35 million annual average salary, with opt-outs after each season. He's once again playing some great baseball, so who knows if he'll go into the market again and hit upon an even better contract soon. Number 4, Mike Trout, $35.45 million. The best player in baseball right now has accepted the biggest contract ever in the sport, and he is still being underpaid. Mike signed a 12-year, $426 million deal a couple of years ago, which is why the Angels have team control until his age 39 season. He's playing like no one else can, with a 170 OPS plus and good CF defense, but the Angels cannot get out of their own ways. So, at 39-53, they will miss the playoffs once again. There's still a lot of potential left in Mike, but the clock is still ticking. Number 3, Garrett Cole, $36 million. The New York Yankees required an ace starting pitcher, and in 2020, they paid for one in Garrett Cole. The pitcher, who had been with the Pirates and Astros, is a 5-time All-Star and Cy Young candidate who is entitled to the 9-year, $324 million contract the team from the Bronx gave him. If he keeps playing like he has so far and the Yankees get to the World Series once again, both team and player will be satisfied with their partnership. Number 2, Anthony Rendon, $38 million. One of those deals that is based on past productions, not on the present or future of Rendon with the Angels. He was an MVP kind of player with the Nationals for half a decade, but has not been able to stay on the field since he signed a huge 7-year, $245 million contract, which will pay him even more, around $38 million, for the next 4 seasons. Anthony was supposed to be the missing hitter to help Trout and Ohtani reach the playoffs, but just as Justin Upton ended up being cut, Rendon might be out the door sooner than later, even with his contract. Number 1, Max Scherzer, $43.3 million. Max Scherzer signed a 7-year, $210 million deal with the Nationals back in 2015, won a World Series and pitched well in every season. Once his contract was close to the end, he got traded to the Dodgers and ended up entering free agency at age 37, with the intentions that he would choose between one last big contract or the chance to win a World Series, but for less money, he chose both, as the Steve Cohen-owned Mets made him the highest-paid MLB players ever with a 3-year, $130 million contract, unlike anything the league had ever noticed. He has been fighting with a few injuries this year, but every time he pitches, everyone realizes why the Mets decided to pay him all that money and pair him up with Jacob deGrom. It's interesting to note that none of these players are in the World Series, which is a trend that changes if you look at the entire contract value. A striking thing to notice is the player who lies just outside of the top 5. If we look at payroll, Trevor Bauer ranks number 6 at $35.3 million despite being banned from baseball for 2 full seasons. If you look at full cash, he comes in at number 7 with $32 million, and his total contract value of $102 million puts him within the top 50 at number 46. This is not bad for a guy who is believed to have seen the end of his playing days. MLB players' contracts have been on a steady rise for decades, and after last offseason's new collective bargaining agreement, which brought up luxury tax limits, there is no clue that it will stop. Juan Soto's most anticipated record-breaking deal never happened, and a few big-name free agents are also expected to light up the market after the World Series, especially Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani. What's your take on this topic? Tell us in the comment section below. With that being said, it's time to end our today's video. Press the like button and subscribe to our channel for more interesting stuff. Peace out.